This is Doreen McCafferty from Holistic Wellness from Within, and today I'm going to get a little hot and heated with you because I'm going to talk to you about something that's a little uncomfortable for us to talk about, and that is symptoms and healing reactions. So I will have to put my glasses on in a moment as I will be looking at my notes, and the article will be up on my website for you to read or copy as a handout, and also you can find this information and always watch the video, of course, as well. So let's get right into this, and I want to go right straight to my article here. And I want to just start off by saying that there's a big mistake about how we think about symptoms. Now, symptoms can indicate that a person is ill, especially if they are not following a healthy kind of program. They can absolutely tell us that we're ill. But there's also the misnomer that the absence of symptoms is an indicator that you're in good health. It is not an indicator that you're in good health. Having no symptoms does not tell you that your body's balanced. Because guess what? Before you have symptoms, that's the last stage of what happens right before you can be diagnosed with an illness. So you're imbalanced and you feel great, and you continue to feel great until one day you don't. You develop symptoms and then you start going to a doctor. If you're in the early stages of symptoms, they often can't even find what's wrong with you or diagnose anything. If you're in later stages of symptoms, they start running all kinds of tests and then they diagnose the disease that you have. But symptoms, and this is my big point here, symptoms appear as the last step before disease is able to be diagnosed. So waiting until you don't feel well just puts you into what we call the worst case scenario, where now you are going to be trapped in the medical system or even in a homeopathic system where you're relying on what I call treatment plans. Treatments to cover up your symptoms, because that's why you go to the doctor. You want to get rid of the symptoms. You don't understand what you need to do to bring the body into health, which we're going to talk about in a moment in more detail. Dr. William Osler said, "The person who takes medicine must recover twice, once from the disease and once from the medicine." Because once you take medicine, you cover up the disease that you have, but it doesn't go away. And then the medicine always has side effects. Every medication and even most herbs and homeopathic remedies have some side effects. So now you have to deal with the side effects. So now you have to recover from the side effects. You still have the disease. He also said, "A good physician treats the disease, but a great physician treats the patient who has the disease." In my practice, I do the second. I treat and work with clients and patients who have a disease to put their body into homeostasis. If you don't understand what homeostasis is, it is simply the point of being balanced. When we are in a perfect state of homeostasis, our body functions exactly the way it's intended. If we could stay in homeostasis 100% of the time, we wouldn't need anything. We would just start, everything would work. Every system, every organ of the body would work the way it's supposed to work. But unfortunately, we become very unbalanced. So bringing the body into homeostasis is how it often will cause symptoms to appear, which are known as healing reactions. And we're going to get more into that in just a moment, because symptoms can mean that you're ill, but they can also mean, when you're on a program like I give you and I'm working with you, that your body's doing healing. So let's talk about that. So here are the two biggest reasons why you need to balance your body. When the body is imbalanced, it does not have enough energy and ability to detox from the toxins in your body. So toxins are constantly coming into your body, and the body's not strong enough, it's not balanced, it doesn't have energy, it's trying to use those toxins to actually function sometimes, which is really scary. But eventually those toxins are just being stored. They're like the dirt under the rug. If I come in and vacuum, but I don't lift up the rug, and there's dirt underneath the rug, it doesn't mean it's not there just because you didn't see it. So there's a lot of dirt toxins, chemicals, all kinds of things hiding out in the cells of the body, in organs, in tissues, in systems of the body. They interfere with the body's ability to work. They do damage when they're hiding out in the body. Now, if we hang on to them, and this is why as we get older, we tend to get more ill. We become sicker because we've been holding on to all these toxins which are now creating damage. Think about, if you're old enough to remember, having cars where the mufflers used to rust out. If you didn't look under that car and check that muffler, it would fall off the car. You'd be driving down the road, your muffler would fall off. So this rust, this dirt, these toxins in the body are doing damage inside the body internally until they get to the point where they can create sometimes serious issues like cancer, diabetes, and tons of other things that we don't ever want to have to experience. Now, you may think you're not toxic, but let's be honest here. We were born into this world toxic. We came out of the womb toxic because the world is very toxic, and it is now becoming more and more toxic all the time. The world is extremely toxic. We are exposed to toxins every day just because we don't see them or feel them. They're in our food supply. They're in our water. They're in the things we put on our skin, the air we breathe. They are everywhere. So when we are being exposed to these toxins but not getting rid of them and they're stored in the body, they make us ill. By bringing the body into balance, moving towards homeostasis, giving the body the energy it needs, our bodies will begin to detox. And listen, my program does this in a natural way. I'm not forcing the body into a detox mode, which I will talk about more in just a moment. Now, the second biggest reason you need to balance your body is you may experience underlying infections. Most of us have underlying infections in our body. Most of us have Lyme's disease on some level. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. If you've ever taken an antibiotic, you have taken an infection that the body was trying to clear out and you've just covered it up. You've just, like if you put a rock down and you throw dirt over it, the rock is still there. So that infection is still in the body, and that infection creates inflammation, and inflammation damages organs and tissues and systems and also creates disease. So those underlying and hidden infections that are in the body need to be addressed. We address them by, again, giving the body what it needs so it can clean out these infections and actually get rid of them permanently forever. So that's what we want to do. Now, traditional and even homeopathic and holistic modalities often only give you things to cover up what you're experiencing to make you feel better. In other words, if you go to a doctor, if you come to me, this is mostly what you're asking for. I don't feel well. Most people don't come to me when they feel good. They should, because remember, the absence of symptoms is not a sign that you're in good health. So you should be doing preventative care. But the truth is most people don't feel well. So they come and they ask for help because they want to feel better. And they end up in what I call a treatment plan. If it is conventional medicine, they're probably going to give you harmful drugs that also have a lot of side effects that cover up your symptoms. But if you go to a homeopath or a functional medicine doctor, even like I did for years, I'll talk about this in a moment, you're going to a functional medicine doctor who's giving you also more natural remedies or things that also cover up your symptoms, you're still not addressing the root cause of the problem. You know what it's like if you cut a weed off at the top of the earth, or if you pull it out but you don't get all of it, it grows back. So we want to get to the root cause of problems. As I create programs to bring someone into balance, it is common then for toxins and underlying infections to begin to clear. Now, when that happens, a person may have healing reactions, and they look like, to that person, symptoms of illness. So they'll sometimes call me and tell me that the supplements I gave them made them sick. Well, this is not true. The supplements aren't making them sick. They're giving their body the energy to do this amazing amount of cleaning and work, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't mean that they're sick. It actually means they're getting better. Now, because I'm working with people one-on-one and guiding them through this journey, then I can explain to them why these things are happening. However, in today's world, in today's society, we've been taught that everything can be fixed with a snap of the fingers. Just take this drug or take this herb and you'll feel better. We do not understand the importance of just feeling bad and letting the fact that we feel bad, or even being grateful that we feel bad, because it's work our body's doing and it's necessary sometimes to feel bad to get better. I know that's not easy. That's not, joke, pun intended, an easy pill to swallow. I was really sick on Thanksgiving Day. I rarely, in years, I have never had a fever. All of a sudden, I developed a fever. I am sure I was getting rid of some underlying infections I've had in my body, probably been storing for a long time. I'm sure that I was detoxing of some things. I had some other issues that told me I was detoxing, some rashes, things along that line. But the point is, I didn't feel well. However, I let my body rest. I didn't interfere with the healing process. I didn't like it. No one likes not feeling well, but I was grateful for the fact that my body was actually doing deep healing, and I understood that. So I was able to deal with it. And I got better. I felt better. So please understand there's a difference between being ill and having a healing reaction. And there's so many benefits to the healing reaction. So let me just say that most programs, again, are putting Band-Aids over top of symptoms to make them go away, because that's what makes the customer happy. It doesn't make them well. It's not getting rid of anything. It just makes the person think that everything's working. It's not. It's such a deception. You have to do some hard work to get well, and that's the hard pill I'm asking you to swallow today, the real pill, so that you really understand what the body is doing. Temporary relief of your symptoms is not an answer. It's certainly not a permanent answer. So understanding how this works is a big part of understanding what you're going to go through and how I'm going to be there to help you through it, and how we're going to work together. Allowing the body to go through a healing process allows a disease or illness to be addressed at the root cause and heals the body permanently. And if you're not sick, it prevents you from getting a serious illness or disease. It keeps that from occurring. So trust me, when I'm sick like that, I'm saying to myself, geez, now maybe I'm not going to have cancer, or I'm not going to have some horrible disease, or I'm not going to have something else, because my body is doing the cleansing that it needs to do. So with that being said, it does not mean that I don't help people who are suffering from intense healing reactions. I get it. If you can't function, if you need me to slow down your program, I can do that. Yes, slowing down your program slows down the healing process. It may take longer, but that's okay. If we need to go slower, we can go slower. If we need to, make adjustments to things, I can help you do that. I'm not adverse to doing that at all. However, it's just many times just telling somebody why they're going through something is a complete relief, and they're able to just rest and go ahead and deal with the reaction. But when they aren't, I do give them help, and I help give them and help and assist them to make intense reactions less intense. I want you to be able to go through your program. With that being said, I just want to share a personal story of probably one of the most difficult healing processes or programs I went through, and it was when I chose to heal my thyroid naturally. I had been going to a functional integrative medicine doctor, and he had been giving me a very natural form of hormone, thyroid hormone, to create, because he said my thyroid wasn't functioning properly. Well, over the years of working with him, and I worked with him for several years, I was feeling pretty jacked up, actually. Like I had quite a big rush of energy, lots of energy, almost what I would say would feel like too much energy. Now, I know most people can't imagine that. It's really hard to think that you might feel overly stimulated, but I kind of felt that way. And I was starting to be concerned about taking all this thyroid medicine and constantly being told I was going to need more of it because actually, as you get older and the longer you go through this, the more you need because the less your thyroid works, all those kind of things. Now, what I learned when I went into a deep dive of all of this was that taking even a natural hormone for my thyroid was sending a signal to my thyroid not to produce hormones. It didn't need to produce thyroid hormones because I had them coming in from another source. So my body was smart enough to regulate. It wasn't going to continue producing that hormone. But think of what that means. My thyroid stopped working. It just shut off. And the hormones I was taking were jacking me up and giving me all this energy, but it wasn't natural energy. It wasn't healthy because I no longer had a working thyroid, and that isn't how I wanted to live. And so I decided to do some deeper digging. And I got a hair analysis, probably the first hair analysis I ever got, and it came back showing that I was hyperthyroid, where my doctor was constantly diagnosing me by blood work, which is not accurate at all. It only gives you a quick glimpse of what's in your body at that moment, where the hair's looking at what's deep in the cells. So I got a picture of what was happening with my thyroid. And of course, my thyroid wasn't really hyper. The reason it was showing up as hyperthyroid on my thyroid ratio was because of the hormone I was taking. So I went about repairing my thyroid. I went about coming off my medication using nothing but natural minerals that supported my thyroid to once again start to let my thyroid work. Yes, I was tired. Yes, I had healing reactions of extreme fatigue, but I healed my thyroid. It now functions and it works. I can help people heal, not cover up symptoms. And this I know from personal experience, and this is only one story. I could share many stories with you as well. But with that being said, I want you to stop looking for a quick fix to cover up your symptoms. Let's begin a journey that will help you heal if you're ill or prevent disease if you're well. Because trust me, even if you're well, your body is imbalanced. So let's go through this together. I can help give you a program that will balance your body, help your body naturally detox and clear underlying infections, and heal you and prevent future illness. That's really what you want. The best approach to healing is less intervention and letting the body do what it needs to do. We need to give it what it needs and get out of the way. This is what we don't do enough of. Now, that's what my program does. It gives the body what you need to detox and clear infections. And then it does this through just balancing your minerals, correct minerals, helping your body detox and heal on its own. It does not use forceful chelation to get you to detox. Trust me, this can make you very ill. You do not want to take forceful chelators. Do not do that. Do not try to do this on your own. You need guidance because I have hundreds of clients who have come to me very, very ill because someone has chelated them with either IV or even oral chelation products that has made them very sick. If your body's not ready to move these underlying infections and these toxins, it's not ready. We have to give the body natural energy, bring it up to that point where it's vibrating, where it can do this on its own, and then it will do the work. If it doesn't do the work, it's going to do the work, but if it's not doing the work right away, it's not ready. We don't want to force it. If you force it, you risk becoming very, very ill. So please contact me today and learn about how you can start a mineral balancing program. I will be there with you to give you your program, to guide you along the way, to be there if you have healing reactions, and to see that you can heal and also develop the most optimal wellness, healthy, and vibrant you, you can live your best life. And I'm going to help you do that. So please contact me if you would at my website, holisticlifestyleconsulting.com, or email me if you have my email address, dcfitness@hotmail.com. But reach out and let me know what I can do to help you find optimal wellness. Thank you so much for visiting this article that I've written, that I was looking at as I was speaking, will be up on my website as well as the video. And please share this video on all your social media platforms with everyone you know. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I look forward to working with you. And thank you again from Holistic Wellness from Within.